Welcome to our ERE series for the Digital Recruiter podcast. We have ERE coming up in San Diego the first week of November, the Tuesday and Wednesday. Why don't I look up those dates so I can actually give you those dates for that? It's going to be November 4th and 5th in San Diego. And so we're doing a whole series. We're talking sponsors to the speakers to everything else. It's an awesome event. I went back in April in Vegas. It's a super cool event. And today I am joined by our first guest in the series, the head of revenue at pin.com, the platform that's taken over recruiting in 2025, Conor Kline. My friend, how are you, sir?
Thanks for having me back, Clark. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's this is great. It's when I agreed to this with ERE, I saw the list of the speakers. I was like, oh, Conor, I'm gonna make him my first guest because I've already interviewed him before and make this easy on myself. Because why work hard when you can work smart? Actually, we want to do both. Excuse me, but Conor, give us a quick overview of pin.com, what it does, right? The impact it's had on recruiting.
Yeah, pin.com, top of the funnel sourcing platform. We're really good at finding people, finding all their contact information, and getting in front of them. Our whole goal here is we need to simplify sourcing the best that we can, but do it in a way that's efficient and really kicks a whole lot of butt. So it's been great. We're coming up on a full 2 years now. To your point, we are catching a bit of fire, which is always very fun for an early stage team like ourselves. And yeah, we're lucky to be in the position we're in.
I love it. And yeah, I can speak to it. I mean, having met you guys at ERE back in Vegas and just the evolution that you've made and seeing recruiters use it and actually have success using the tool and getting results, which is always the name of the game. How have you there's a lot of competition. Like there's a lot of AI slapped onto everything nowadays. It could be an AI phone book for all I know, right? It's slapped onto everything. What makes Pin different, if you will, or I guess maybe a better way to frame it, like what problem did you kind of go after to solve getting into this, right? Being 2 years old.
I'm kind of like both those questions.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot that makes us different. I think one is our thesis in terms of how we're approaching this. And I think the other thing is the execution and how we've built it. I think there's so many platforms out there, to your point, that are just powered with AI or by AI or adjacently have AI sprinkled in here and there. A lot of the messaging these days pointed at the recruiting function is how can we replace the workflow that you're doing, or how can we replace this entire function of this one job, right? And even sourcing platforms out there today are kind of saying like, hey, let's never source again, right? It's like, well, okay, but we called this thing SourceCon for a reason. Like, what do you mean never source again? Like, what are we going to take away the entire? Like, absolutely not. There's a reason why humans are always going to be better than machines at that. So our whole thesis here is how can we essentially be an Ironman suit for those sourcers that need to go out there and find the right people for the job, right? Our goal is not to take the place of human being on that front. Now, if we could take one person and turn them into 10 people, then yeah, that's the desired effect here. I think just in terms of how we're different from an execution point of view, we built our own models over here. It's just a different ball game, right? This is not Chat GPT slapped on top of some LinkedIn keyword data. So the proof is in the pudding. We're excited to show it off live come ERE.
It's going to be great. And I love the point that you made. We talked about before. How do you make one recruiter and have them look like they have productivity of 10? That's exactly the thesis I had with digital recruiters starting out from, automation perspective, but also content, but really just personal brand on LinkedIn. But how do you can make a recruiter nowadays have the impact of 10, 20, 30 people? And I think that similar thesis is why we all, me and the Pin team get along pretty well, because it's just like seeing that like-mindedness of like, that's the opportunity, but the core of it, the heart of it, the recruiter needs to be there. And it's just, it's not either or, it's both. It's and. So you have the recruiter and AI and automation kind of really come together and got to be the super recruiter.
Yeah. I just gave a talk on this the other day, but I think a good rule of thumb on this is like, there's human judgment and then there's human action, right? Let's keep human judgment where it is. And that's like the biggest issue all these major corporations have with AI coming in and making decisions based on like an application or a specific candidate. That's where you run into trouble, right? Like, let's keep that human. Everything else, right? Like having to remember to follow up with someone via email or like shoot them a rogue connection request a few days after the first one, by all means, let's automate that, right? And that's where a lot of that time is spent, where it's mindless, we feel like we can pick up a lot of slack on that point. But I think that combined force is really where, the best recruiters and the best recruiting teams in the world are kind of cutting their teeth.
Dude, love that. Human judgment, human versus human action. That's well said. That's a good talk. Uh, what excites you most about people being part of the ERE event? Right, you were before, and now you are again. All
Yeah.
right, what's got you excited about this one?
Just like getting out of the office and getting out of my house and seeing people in real life again. It's like, I don't know. I mean, we miss it so much from pre-COVID times, right? Like being able to stand up next to someone and shake their hand and share a cocktail with them
Yeah.
and learn their story and learn a little bit more about why they do what they do. Just it goes so much further. And so no matter what the cost is, it's worth it every time to be in positions like that with people that you're both selling to and are trying to sell you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and even if you're not selling, you don't even know what they do, and you're just trying to figure it out, right? Which
Yeah.
was me and my ignorance at the time. I was like, oh, pin.com. We were a booth next to each other. I'm like, what do you guys do? Like at the end of the second day. And I'm like, oh, you guys do that? Like, that's super cool. Like, why don't you hop on the podcast? And he sent Jake over, and we recorded. He had known me for a whole 30 seconds, right? And did a 20-minute interview. So, good for him, because it's not easy to do. But I think that was the cool part. And now we've talked a few times. You've been on my podcast. Right, we're using the platform, and Jake, brushed me up on, what's new, and with the email and the messaging, and that you guys have really have established like the what's in it for them messaging on the candidate side that is so effective, and it's such a differentiator. I mean, it's so cool to see, to your point, the human judgment translate to human action, but then to be able to share those ideas around a beer, whether it's non-alcoholic or not, either your choice, right? We don't judge, and like that is what is fun about being in person. And there is something about that bond that's just like we've made it. So when we catch up like this, it's like, oh yeah, it's a friend that I know in person.
Yeah.
And like I've built this business mostly virtual, but I've been getting out more this year. I feel like it sounds like a Cajun dog when I say that, but it's just like making the effort to travel and be out and about more, and it is just rewarding. There is something there. I think we just need as humans.
For sure. It's, like I said, any excuse to get out and
Yeah.
be in front of the people that you're surrounded by, usually in Zoom, is a good excuse for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what are you most looking forward to? Maybe this time around at ERE.
I think the product's made so many strides this year. I mean, we've done the AI showcase the past two times that we've been there, and both times it's gone great, right? I mean, Jim gets up there, pulls a pretty tough roll out of an envelope, and everybody in the crowd kind of holds their breath until the software either works or doesn't. And, we're shooting 2 for 2 on that front. I think this year we're really going to bring it. I think to your point, people are kind of starting to figure out the pin name a bit more. So, we're excited just to kind of get up there and really show off the power of this thing in a way that we haven't been able to before. So, yeah, not going to give any more out than that, but we're pumped about it.
I love it. I love it. No, and I'm not speaking this time. I don't have my own booth. Like I get to be more of a guest this time, which is
You can come
exactly what I
hang out in
want.
our booth. You can.
Which is
We'll give you a chair.
exactly what I'm going to do. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll bring my own sign if you need to, or my own name tag. But yeah, I'll pull up a chair and just be hanging out with y'all the whole time. And it's kind of nice because I like doing it, but it was a lot of pressure, especially I'm a small shop, right? It was just me. But now I get to be a guest in San Diego, and I'm in November, which coming from Columbus, Ohio, I'm going to be very, very happy and grateful for. So yeah, I'm going to be hanging out at the booth. I'll be at the showcase. There's a little bit of that like hold your breath moment, right? It's going to come out with that, machine learning engineer with 3.5 years of this experience. That's as far as I know as I get on talking about engineering roles. But so that'll be fun. Do we want to talk about what the URL, the job description thing, or do you want to save that for the event?
Yeah, sure. Well, Steve, our CEO, built a pretty cool little piece of additional functionality. It's not really like in product per se, but anyone can use it. So if you have no idea what PIN is, but you're working on a hard rec right now and you're listening to this, all you got to do is just send an email to JD at pin.com. All you got to do, send an email there, attach a URL inside of the email, or just like copy and paste the job description into the body of the text and click go. What PIN will do is it'll analyze the JD. It will find and match you with 10 really awesome candidates, and it'll shoot you an email back in like a minute or so. with people that are very highly qualified, and you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything. It's just kind of a fun way for us to show off the power of what we built here and give anyone that wants a little bit of extra firepower on the sourcing side some help. So even if you're a competitor, feel free to give it a ride. But yeah, this is JD at pin.com. Put in a URL or the job description itself and click send.
I'll make sure to have that in the episode summary so people can
Yeah.
we'll get the instructions in there as well. Super cool. I love that. I actually want to test that myself when we stop recording. When people go to an event, let's say someone's a solo TA person, can be intimidating, overwhelming. What's your recommendation on just how to get the most out of the event?
Time block yourself and be intentional about it, right? Like there's always going to be a couple talks that you definitely want to make your way to. So if that means you need to like forego going to something else to like reload your social batteries and save some time and like go to the bathroom, go get a bite to eat, go do that. So you can really be present for the talks that you want to be there for. I think beyond that, like even if you are maybe more introverted, like I'm slightly more introverted than I am extroverted, right? So like going to an event where I don't know a whole lot of people and having to like be a part face of the company can be like a little bit stressful. But just remembering that pretty much everybody else is in that exact same boat and everyone's yearning to be connecting with people, even if they're not outwardly doing it. It makes it a lot easier. Just go say hi, go introduce yourself, ask them where they're from, and some of the best conversations I've ever had have come from moments like that. So I think just keep an open mind.
I'm with you. I'm more extroverted, if anyone can't tell, and even I still had some of that, like first day at a new school, like and all that stuff, and and I even knew a couple people that now I'm going to know way more. I'm going to know you guys. It's going to be way easier that second time around, but
Yeah.
you don't get that comfortable second time around without just going for it in the first time around. And it took me a second, but I kind of dove right in, and I made a bunch of cool new friends and connections, and I learned a lot. And it validated some things that I thought I knew to be more true, and it opened my mind to other things that I need to look into and explore. And you just kind of never know. And I think that's great advice. Like the other person probably just as nervous as you are.
Yeah.
So there's always that, and we just need that to take that initiative.
That and drink a lot of water. It's so easy to forget because in a lot of these like conference rooms, you're just sitting in a room where there's no windows. You kind of forget what reality is for a second.
Yeah.
And then by like 5 p.m., your voice is all hoarse. You just can't figure it out. Remember to drink water. Sorry, that should have been number one. Everything else.
Great advice because we were in Vegas, so at the smoking in the casino. So if I had spoken on day 2, I would have been a mess because my voice was gone by day 2 because it was like the air, like the smoke and everything was getting me. So hydration is key. That is great advice. Well, one last question I want to ask. 2025 has been, I think, the year of maybe AI being a little bit more refined, maybe in the recruiting space, or at least just like the haves and have-nots. I think. What do you think 2026 is going to bring?
I think 26 is going to be more refinement personally. I think 25 is more like where's the ceiling with what we can expect from AI, right? And so I think once we found out what the general ceiling for a lot of these workflows in the recruiting industry are going to be, now it's a matter of like, cool, we know our boundaries. Let's attack with what we have the access to. And I think whoever optimizes the best, the fastest is going to be the teams that win, right? And that's kind of what we're poised to do now.
I think that's very well said. I would agree 100%. I think it's a better way to put it. So, not surprised that you get it, Conor. Appreciate you for being here. I'm going to see you at ERE. I think I might see you again this year too. So, this is great. Let's keep this thing going. Appreciate you be on here. Can't wait to see you at ERE. Get pin.com, do JD at pin.com. Connect with Conor. Go to ERE. There's in person, there's virtual. There's no excuse not to miss it. And there's going to be a ton of cool stuff. Make sure you check out that AI showcase for pin.com. Conor, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Clark.
All right. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and to attend ERE in San Diego, either in person. Why wouldn't you want to go in person in San Diego in November? Right? It's a beautiful time. So come hang out with us, or at least if not, come hang out virtually. Until next time, happy hunting, y'all.